Okay, I think it is working. Let me see here. Okay, yeah, I think I'm getting the hang of this. Now, I guess the question is, can I hear? Hello. Hello. Sorry for anyone who decides to rewatch this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm figuring it out. Maybe I can. Sources. Mic. Sure. Maybe that'll work. But hello, hello. Okay, not quite. Let's see. Can I filters? Gain. Ah. Oh, that's a lot. Yeah, we'll try that. That's in there, right? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Okay, not quite as much as I want. Filters. We're gonna make that go up more. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, if the audio is not to anyone's liking, that's fine. So anyway, I guess we should start with what we're doing is I guess that's a good question. Should I make the battery, the engine, or the chassis? Or the gas tank? I think we'll start with the chassis, because that's what this is all being built on. Since I have 0 viewers. Come on, guys. Let's see here. Move this out of the way a little bit. Maybe. Okay, it's just gonna be good enough. Anyway, so what I'm doing is hopefully getting some measurements on the chassis of the TT02 GT Mark II chassis, Tamiya. And my caliper's broken. That's fun. That's okie dokie. I don't need the caliper to read the numbers. We are at 120 something. Maybe I do need the caliper to work. Millimeters. I don't do millimeters. What is this? 120, so that's 4.7. Okay, maybe I'll just use millimeters for now. Swap the settings over to millimeters. Metric 1:1 width. I'm not messing with any of that. Okay, so for the width, we've got 120. For the overall length, I am not sure yet, but we are not dealing with the overall length yet, so let me see. We are at 140 for length on one side. So I suppose I should probably fix my measurement here. I've got 60 millimeters. And then for the other side, we've got 60-ish. Wait a minute. Oh, so that's 61 millimeters on this side. Oop. Then we're gonna pop another one in here, make it a different color. Maybe. Where's that? Let's go with green. This is gonna be the longer side. How did I? Okay, anyway. Good enough. So for the shorter side, we have 60, pretty much on the dot. Then we go the length of the whole thingamabobber is maybe not the whole thingamabobber. Come on. Ow. Okay, so we get to 140 before it starts curving. But we've got more space over here, which is kind of a triangular shape. I'm talking to myself right now. 90. Why is this one taller? Good enough. Kinda goes. Pretty much like this. And we've got some weird shapes in here. Oh, I actually need this to divide it. And then we've got something like that. We've got a little bit. Something. 55 centimeters. 85. 60. Actually, what I want to do. I'm sure there's probably some sort of file somewhere on the internet with the TTO2 chassis that's been all marked up in the 3D CAD and all fancy, way better than I could probably make it, but I don't care. I don't. Said there we go. Please, thank you. There we go. Nope. Definitely a nope. Can I base it off of this one? That's doing the same thing. What? Oh wait. Is there a way to... Oh, we can. Interesting. So now that should be a seamless gap. Yeah, close enough. Guess I should probably make sure they're all... No, that one. There we go. Yep. Nope. Yep. Okay. So, I got to do a little bit of bam, bam, and bam. Take this over here. Something like that. That signed up. That looks signed up. Okay. So the thing with this side here, I'm debating if I should. What does that even go to? Oh, I think that's the antenna mount, which I don't need anymore. It's not the 2000s anymore. When do you, like... I mean, I know a lot of the older RC cars have the antennas and all of that, which is cool. I have an older RC car. Actually, I've got two. But, how do I mute myself on my stream? There we go. That's annoying. Anyway, I've got two older RC cars. They've both got antennas, but the newer stuff doesn't have antennas, so... Oh my goodness, it's sticking with it. Why? Why are you doing this? I don't want you to stick with my guys here. Thank you. And now that one won't go down. Guess I should probably figure out what I need that to be at. So 12 on the inside of gap, and then $15 in total. So that was close. I need this at 15. Let's see here. Live for 20 minutes almost. Pretty sure nobody's awake, so it doesn't even matter. But, oh wow. Let's see what I can do here. I've got 12mm inside hole in the bobber that I've got to deal with. Plus, this comes out, what, 5mm? Here to here. Ah, 10 or 8. 8? I don't know. Heck if I know. Anyway. So we've got a bit somewhere in here that comes out 8mm. 8. Kind of does a swoop-de-doo thing, but I'm not that fancy, so we're not going to worry about it. 8mm, take this down to 15. Guess I should probably know how long this swoop-de-doo thing is on the inside. about 42 millimeters. 42. And that would be perfectly in the middle, of course. So eyeball it and then see how close I am. Not very. Okay, that's fine. So that, there. I guess I could do some fancy dancy stuff, but should I? My creation. Something like that. That's a good enough visual representation, I assume. If anyone has a problem with it, then they don't have to watch. Oh wait, nobody is! I'm so funny. So funny. Anyway. So from... Did I even measure that correctly? Oh, I messed up. That doesn't do that. That goes to a bunch of nothingness. So how far did I get this to go out? 55? 50. Here to here. 50. A little bit of a dilemma with that. Because I need a 55 millimeter gap. Or not a gap, straight edge right about here that goes 55 millimeters across. But this still has to come out to 55 at an obtuse angle, and this is not. I mean, technically, yes, but the angle between here and here should be different. I'm so smart. Yeah. Just gonna pretend those don't exist. I guess I could probably seal that all up. Come on. What the heck? Whoa. That's on there, right? Yeah. It's good enough. That is weird. Anyway. I want that to be one. Oh no. No. Okay, nope. Can't be having gaps in there, it looks weird. It'll mess stuff up later on. Not happening. Try 0.2. Okay, try 0.1. Okay, try 0.05. Good enough. Okay, your turn. Hmm. Why is it going that way? Negative 0.05. Good enough. And this is all... That's good. Come on! There we go. Oop. What did I do? What did I do? Yeah, no, can't be having that. That's good. Okay. Now... Union group? What is this one? I forgot. Bundle group. Wait a minute. Is that the one I've been looking for? No. No. No, it's definitely Union. Union. Still weird. I don't like that. Red. Those come out a smidgen, but I don't really care. No weird seams in the middle. That's fine. I'm good with that. Okay, so now... That looks fine. Oh. That looks fine. So why is there a gap in the middle? Why is my math not mathing? Nope, wrong one. Is this one 60? Okay, so I guess we need to do 60.5. 60. No, not that way, the other way. 60.5. Ah, yes, here we are. So, need it to be that long, but with nope. 55. Yeah, that's gonna suck. Says it's a line, but I do not believe it. A line. Okay, I guess it's a line then. I don't know what else I could do about that. here, I guess. Should be fine. Okie dokie. So, anyway. Guess I should. Bada bing. Bada boom. Bring this out to 55. Oh, that looks weird. Oh, wait. Oh, no, that looks okay. Ish. Anyway. One, three. One. Really? Is that what you call a line, you piece of garbage? No. No. Why is it? Why are you like this? No. One D, I suppose. I have to do. Oh God, why is it still doing this? Stop it. Good enough. That side looks fine, this side looks fine. Okay. Just gonna go for it, see how it looks. Okay. That's not bad. So I suppose now that I've got the main tray, if you could imagine, we've got, oh, let's see here. This dives down very steeply. Gearbox, maybe, sort of. Differential, suspension, wheel. this is all like lattice, kind of weird. I guess it's structural. Differential. Drive shaft goes straight down the middle, but I took it out, so we'll see about that. Right about here, suspension wheel, bumper. Anyway, I suppose now I should get the engine, the gas tank, the battery, yada yada yada. Not YouTube. Which one do I want to use? Yeah, so here's my flywheel and manual clutch, which I have not printed or made yet. Here's the super turbo. What do you mean failed? It's right here. What? Which one do I want to use? This one's got the mounting holes on some parts, so I guess I'll use that. Put that there. Even though that... yeah, it actually does look right. Just up a smidgen. Right about there. Things that we don't have. This. Come on. Why is it? Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Well, that's the flywheel, so I still need that disconnected. Thank you. I guess I should probably just undo all of that and do this and the other thing. There's no paste option. Copied it. Aha, Control V always works. Okay, so let's break this down a little bit. Well, now instead of this, I have a pulley for the spool, whatever you want to call it. It is what it is. Let's just make that all imagine like it's to scale. Well, it is to scale, it's just probably not entirely accurate. It's pretty close. Make that black. So that's where we run into one problem, is the flywheel. I would like more space than however much space that is. Oh, come on. So I would need to make a metal mount, because there's absolutely no chance this is going to be plastic. Dang it. Just want to see. Let's see here. So we're gonna have a giant fan up front. Let me do this in the real world and see how accurate that looks. Actually, it's not that bad. I guess I'd probably want a little bit of space. Probably about there. So, in the real world, it won't be that close. It'll be up here a little bit more. Plus the fan comes out to about halfway through here. So let's make a little marker. Is there a fan in here? I would just slap it on. Find a fan in here. Any row now. Come on. I know it's in here. I've used it before. Interesting. Really? So where's the fan? Was it this? Huh. Fans. That's a gear. Not quite. There should be a fan in here. What kind of office doesn't have a fan? Featured collection. Okay, anyway, we'll just put a normal marker in there. Pretend like there is a fan. Whoa, what is that? Weird. So the fan comes out to about halfway through here, so that would be right about there. Make this a bright, annoying color. So that's unusable space. Yeah, right about there. It would probably be safer to scoot it forward a bit, just to make sure nothing catches into the fan. I'll just say that's the fan. That is a pretty looking fan, huh? Anyway, so then we got a starter and the exhaust. Starter goes under here, under. Come on now. Not exactly a flat starter, but this. The starter on this thing's kind of got a flat top and bottom. Comes out from here somewhere. Right about there. Down to here. And it's got this spigot that comes out, catches on that, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna try and make a bunch of super detailed stuff because this is just a mock-up. What else am I missing here? Oh, my head. My monitor. Dear Lord. Something like that. Not really, it comes out more. Good enough. We'll pretend that's perfect. That's just the hose that goes from the turbo to the intake. Oh, what else do we got here? We've got the pulley that goes here. Do I want to make that? Nope. I suppose we should start on something else, because that's basically the engine. Basically. Don't quote me on that. Alright, so we've got the little gas tank. I don't know where I'm gonna put that. This is an engineering nightmare. Put the engine back in the real thing. So, do I want to do battery or engine first? A good question. Okay, I just had an idea. So, if anyone knows what a TTO2 chassis looks like, it's got a bunch of latticing going on, mostly right here, and then some over here. But if I'm only using rear-wheel drive, I don't need any of that. Actually, I need a little bit of it for the steering linkages. But I could cover it, put the servo in a box on the cover, and attach the gas tank right here on the cover. Yes, that's a great idea. It's simply magnificent. I'll do it. Maybe. Now I need to think about how I'm going to do that. It's a great idea until you go about trying to do it. Maybe. Now I need to think about how to do that. Great idea until you go about. Yeah, so the battery is going to take up the most space. How can I get it to take up less space? I could turn them sideways. That could work. But then it'll... One of them sideways is fine, but two of them will be a problem because there's a little steering or a throttle linkage that goes right under here. And that's no bueno. I need throttle. Could I put one sideways and one flat? Huh. Let me see if I have another battery in here. Oh, hello. Is that another battery? Okay, I stole a battery out of my first gen Emax that I never use. So I can mock this up. I need 2 batteries to start this dang thing. Yay. So the thing is that this engine gets really freaking hot because it is air-cooled. And air-cooled engines don't dissipate heat very easily because air and water dissipate heat very differently. Water takes heat away faster. Air does not because of density. Thermodynamics, I guess, is kind of what that would be. Batteries next to hot stuff, especially, what is this, NIMH, so that would be neodymium hydride or something close to that. Uh, what's this one? Oh, this one's NiCad. Interesting. It's an older battery, Onyx, with only 1800 milliamp hour compared to my newer battery that's got 5200. Yeah, no wonder why that car doesn't drive very long. Anyhow, so battery. I don't want to put batteries next to the hot stuff. So, how will I fix that? I could make a heat shield that goes between the battery tray and the engine. I could do that. heat shield. I don't know how well it'll do, but heat shield's a heat shield, right? It'd have to be something like that. But does that give me enough space to play with? Barely. So I'm gonna have to lift the engine up. The mount's gonna have to go pretty high. Which is fine, because that means bigger teeth on the gears. Which means less likely to break, and means that they're gonna be 3D printed, more than likely. That's a good thing. I would have to put the batteries in vertically in the tray. Now, can I actually look up? Oh. Tamiya TT-02. I spelled Tamiya wrong. Didn't I? Tamiya? Yeah. Oh well. That one's upgraded. This one's stock. So this is a stock. Come on. I want to zoom in. As you can see, there's a lot of gunk taking up space here. Dude, this is gonna look so different. Let's see if I can find a picture I could zoom in on. Ooh! Ooh, that is a perfect picture. Okay. So this is where the engine's going. Right up to about here where the... oh, wait. Right up to about here. Really? It takes up that much space? Oh, right, because of the fan. So the engine comes up to about here, but the fan pokes out to about here. You guys can't see that very well, can you? Still can't zoom in. Anyway. So we're going to have linkages here. I want to put a cover over this. Put the gas tank here. Servo's going to have to be here. I'm going to have to squish it in next to the fan. Hopefully that'll work. Steering linkages, and then on top, on the shield, with the gas tank, I'll put the circuit, or the starter circuitry and the receiver and all of that good stuff. Battery normally sits flat in here. I'm going to have them sit up, 2 of them, just like that. This part's gonna already been gone. It's out. I could have probably kept that and used it as part of the heat shield. Oh well. What else? I'm missing something. Nope, no I'm not. Yeah, okay, so... yeah. And as you can... let's see. Is there a GT Mark II in here? Is there a GT Mark II somewhere? TT-02R. What's that? I didn't know they were making more. I know they made a rally version and TT-02. So that's like the rally car version, and then they made a Ah, here. This is the one I got. This was ages ago. Literally, I was like 14, 15, something like that. Where's all the pictures, guys? What? They sell the chassis for $52 now? Why? That looks fancy. How come theirs is better than mine? I'm joking. I don't care. Mine's gonna be better here pretty soon. Yeah, so that takes up. Oh. Anyway. Mostly right now, I need to figure out a way to fit in the steering servo, the linkages, the electronics, the gas tank, and the batteries, and make a heat wall or a firewall, I guess. I could call it a firewall technically. Does the same thing. Hopefully it works. um so yeah, I guess this is just a basic idea of how it's all gonna work. Let's see if I can find gallery. Uh, TAMIY battery. Is that a differential? What? Someone else is doing this kind of stuff? Okay. I would expect that on a better 3D printing software, but 350? What in the world? I just want to. Oh, there's connectors. I might need that actually. Oh, but batteries 3D printed. I'm gonna have to do some research into the material resistances because if that works, I'm doing it. As long as the current doesn't melt the batteries. Anyway, RC car. Oh, well, there it is. Copy and tinker. And I am only using this as demonstration. So the guy who actually made this, let's duplicate this. The guy who actually made this, Motoman 135, thank you. I'm gonna use this as a demonstration. I'm not buying it or selling it or nothing, so I shouldn't get in any trouble for that, right? Famous last words. Anyway, so I'm just gonna copy. That was the copy button, right? Yep. Copy. Control V. So normally this would just sit in here like that. But what I'm gonna do is flip it 180 and flip it again. Something like that. The second one in here. Something like that. Probably put some foam in between there. Put some heat reflector on this side, and probably all over the place, to be honest. It truly is a shame nobody watches this. Current viewers, none. Still, it has been, how long has it been? An hour and 6 minutes. No viewers. I've been talking this whole time. So sad. If you care. I don't. I'll talk all I want. Anyway, so there's a little bit of a ridge that goes here, holds the batteries in place pretty well. I'll probably put some foam here, 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 maybe there. Yeah. So then it comes to these guys. Oh, come on now. Let's see if I can get a more accurate. So this goes right on up to here. Oh, come on now. There we go. Right there. And then right about kind of maybe something like that. That is not accurate. That's gonna bug me. That's actually pretty dang close. I'd say that's good. Like that. This needs to go over. Guess I should. Pretty close. Yeah, like I said, it the latticing keeps the batteries in pretty snug, so I shouldn't have a problem with those bouncing around too much. If I do, I could just put a hole in the bottom, put some Velcro strap on it, it'll be fine. Right, latticing. So right about halfway through, this is where the, whatchamacallit, the drive shaft would have like a plastic bearing, not a bearing, whatever it's called. And then it'll go into the differential. So the bearing section would last about this much, kind of. Then it'll go to the differential, big differential, so it'll kind of cut into here. But now I don't need that. Can I put something in there? Should I put something in there? Oh, yes, I could use that to dump the oil from here. Oh my god, I'm smart. What? Why am I so smart? I could literally feed it through the line that's already there. Bruh. That works perfectly. Let's go. Let's just make a hole. Um, half a hole. No, 90. Flip this. 80. Make it a hole. No, yeah, just leave it. Who cares? I do, but who cares? Set that right about there. And make a note for myself because I will forget. Use for oil catch. Genius. Absolutely genius. I could seal up the little holes. Oh yeah, and then I could make a little hole at the bottom for oil, so that I can just take the oil out. Maybe. Do I want to do it like that? How do I want to do that? I'll figure it out. So anyway, we would have, how high does that go with the steering linkages hooked up? So that's the depth. That doesn't help. Plus these are aftermarket parts. Ultimate Tamiya cup? What is this? Do they actually sell it like this now? I got scammed. What is... Whoa, that's some fancy set right there. Is that the front? Nope, that's the rear. Something like that. So this comes up pretty much to the suspension. Okay, but I don't have any of the front stuff assembled, so above here, above here, this is aftermarket too, with a lower profile, of course. Dang. Let me catch a break, bro. There's a break. So that's the highest it goes right there with the steering linkage. Then it drops down with these, and then there. But that little bump. Let me see if I can guesstimate the measurement. So that'd be about 20 millimeters. I do not like doing millimeters, but my caliper is broken. And the standard thing is kind of weird right now, so. Shade, block. It's already 20 millimeters. 20 millimeters tall, but I don't know what else I need to do to make it shape right. Does that look right? Man, it's been a while since I've had it put together, so I'd say that's a conservative estimation. We'll just imagine this is all used space. Down to here. Dang it, I need to make another weird shape, don't I? I don't even know why I tried to guess that. Never stays on 90. Yellow means used, I suppose. So what I could do is I'd have to make a mount for it to attach here, here, probably here, here, and here. That is a lot of making of things. Let me think about that. Actually, I could just make this hollow, empty out the bottom, make that clear space. Just make this a shell. And then I can glue it. No, I'm joking, I wouldn't do that. I would need to be able to make this disassemblable. Something like that. That'll also help brace the batteries. Huh, I am liking how that's coming out. I do need to lessen that if I am. I might as well. That could work. Don't I want to slant that though? Because that looks ugly. Let me double check that there's clearance here. Dang it, I forget I can't move static pictures. Like, guys, you should have made this a 3D picture. Hmm. So it seems I need to account for the steering linkages by making a little gap. I really don't like the way those look though. I might buy an aftermarket part or 3D print my own. Ooh. Oh, but I would have to get so detailed to redesign the whole steering system. That's a decision I'll figure out in the long run, eventually, maybe. But at the very least, I could. Wait, do I have those or the static ones? Now I'm confused. I don't remember if I bought the upgrade or not. Ooh, that looks nice. Anyway, um, I could just 3D print ones if I want. I'd have to be super precise though. So right about, let's be precise, I guess. If we're gonna be precise, I might as well be precise, right? No use being precise if I'm not gonna be precise. What are we at here? 15mm gap between the front of that and there, plus probably about a millimeter, 2 millimeters. Yeah, okay. I know what I must do. Actually, first, before I do that, make that hole, duplicate, make it a little bit larger to fill this section in, make this a hole. That way the shell will look really nice with any luck. Dude, that's actually pretty close. I could just sand that down. This one is... Oh, there we go. Yeah, I can just sand down anything that doesn't line up right. Yeah. So bring in the hollow. Hull. Bring that up. Give myself a couple of millimeters to play with. Do I want that to be a hole? I need that part at least to be a hole. And I guess I could use this as a wiring system, put some holes in here. Ooh, why am I so good at this? What the heck? Dude. Oh wait. Well then again, there's a steering linkage system. Maybe I could make like a shelf in here. That's a lot of work. I could zip tie it, make holes, zip tie the wiring to the top shelf bit. Huh. Then there's also the fan. I might have to make another mount. I'll have to mount a fan here to push more air into the fan that's already there, because that fan sucks, to be honest. Oh, I have a viewer. Hello. I've been babbling on for the better part of an hour and a half. Maybe less than an hour and a half. Anyway, um, basically this is meant to represent a TTO2 RC car chassis. This is an engine that I've been working on, and these are the starting batteries. I'm just making the whole system try and fit before I actually do it. There we go, now that's a hole. So I've got space for the steering linkage. I gotta make a little hole here for the steering linkage. No more viewer. Oh well. Do-do-do. Maybe not do that. Just stick to the plan, my guy. The what's that? Yeah, I'm not sure. Weird. Okay, so I need this 15, 8 mil, whatever, that's fine. How tall is this? Okay, so 20. That should be enough space. I don't need it to be that tall. I don't think. I can fix it if I need to. Repeat. Flip it. Pretty much the same. Oh, the one viewer I have disappeared. It's too bad. They're missing out. Still talking to myself. I'm a lunatic, bro. Dang. I'm crazy. So I guess now I would need some sort of a box set up here. Guess I should probably make the gas tank. It's a tiny gas tank. Maybe I should make a bigger one. I don't like it. Guess I should probably figure that out after I print it. So this needs printed. So I'll make it a different color. Green means prime. What color? I guess I'll make that green just to know that I need to make it happen. It's gonna be red. So that's part of the chassis. This can be black. This can be black. I need to make a gas tank. Let's see here. Basic shape, box. $54 centimeters. One, two, three. So we'll go with 55 or 56 or 55. Why not? 85. So that's the length. We'll call it 40 for the width. Though it's technically more like a 38. If we're gonna be technical, I might as well just get the real, basically 36. Okay, then the height, including the cap, I suppose. We're at 60. And I've got this little thing over here. $5 millimeters, and it goes up to 10. Actually, not. But I want to keep it uniform, so we'll do 5 or 6. We'll do 6. Go up. How tall is this bit here? $60. That goes right about here. Kind of connects weirdly, but 6 mil. that. Then there's a tiny tab. Another tiny tab. Over here. Something like that. Now this is including the cap here, so should I shrink this down? Yeah, I guess I should. I guess I should measure how tall that is. Come on. Shrink. Right. Ten-ish mils, so 50. $30 by 35, I guess. Oh, that just looks weird. It's more towards the front. Give it that. And that's good enough. It doesn't have to be super detailed. Give it a tiny bevel. Good enough. So that's the gas tank. We'll make it blue because I've got blue nitro in there and it looks cool. Wow, that's actually sitting basically how it sits in the real world, which is nice to know that I can do something right for once. So I suppose I'll want this to mount in the middle. Come up to the edge here. Gives me some space to make things work. So that's the gas can, that's done. That won't work. I might have to buy a smaller one. But is there a smaller one here? Standard. I know that there is one where it's basically cut in half. Very common to be used as a steering servo. Could I use that? No. How would I even use that? Wait a minute. What is that called? Servo. Okay. Scaling locked? Weird. I have one of these, or actually I've got a lot of them. I'm planning on using for throttle. How am I gonna hook that up? That is a good question that I am just now thinking. Turn this at an angle. But I'd have to mount it weird. Or I'd have to lift it and mount it over the battery. How would that even? I don't want to raise the gravity, the center of gravity too high, because this engine's already gonna make that kind of weird. I guess what I could do is, oh dear, stop it, go back to normal. Where were you? There you are. I could go 90, bring it over here, but that's blocking the fan now, bruh. Could just mount it right in the middle. Then I could have the micro servo over here somewhere. Probably right around here. Have a straight shot to that. Get a piece of metal. Yeah, that could work. Crisis averted. Still have to figure out the steering servo. I guess if I mount this high enough, I could clear the fan, but this has to be mounted pretty much here. Come on. There we go. So, right about like that. Which goes clear under the fan. And the timing belt, and there's a bunch of heat right here, so that would fry that. Do they not have a short servo? What is this? Ew, no. Go away. Standard servo. That's what I have here, right? Pretty sure this is the other way around. Then we need clearance space for the horn. I'll literally just rip it, or use a disc or something, cut it out if I have to. I'll make this work. Might be able to squish this back a little bit further. Still doesn't help much. So I might just have to get a half-sized motor, or a servo. Then the steering linkages, blah blah blah, steering, turn, suspension, should be fine, suspension. Yeah, this part's gonna suck. Gotta engineer the right gear ratio so I have enough torque to move and enough gear to get it going a little bit. So I have to weight all the parts, calculate the horsies, calculate the gear ratio. Oh man, and then there's the thing where I've got am I gonna have to 3D print a flywheel? I'd get more RPM, that's for sure. Lighter flywheel. It doesn't need a lighter flywheel though. I need it to be stable. It, it doesn't need to die all the dang time. I guess that's something for me tomorrow to figure out. We are nearing 2 hours here, folks, and I've only had one viewer for about a minute. So, I guess before I leave, I could at least figure out where the transmitter's gonna go. Make a box for it or something. Or I could just put it here and route all of the wires out in the open, which would be weird. I could just make a tunnel. I don't know, I'll figure it out. I know that the starter motor has to have wires coming off of it, avoid the fan. I suppose I could wire a button up so that the servo horn, when used in reverse, hits the button, activating the starter. So that way I don't have to do more wiring and nonsense. This is a push button, so it'll push. I don't have to use this anymore. It'll activate. Then when it starts, I can push it again, turn it off. That could work. That's a good idea. I'm gonna do that. This has to be mounted really well though, so. Then again, if I set up the horn to where it's got a metal wire that goes to the linkage here for the card, and it goes straight to there, it won't have any give unless I use the Traxxas system where they've got like a spring and two little knobs on the wire. I could do that, I guess. I'd have to make it from scratch though. Use some hardware. At least I get a discount. Anyway, Um, receiver. Is there a receiver in here anywhere? Sensor, I guess it's kind of a sensor for radio waves. Don't know what that is. This is all Arduino stuff. Why is there a monitor in here? Double A, oh, 2 AAA, double A, glow. Dang, that's big. It's only an 80 mil. I think I've got an 80 mil. Don't know how I'd make that work though. And I'd need a separate controller for it. Unless I hooked up one of the leads to the negative. That could work. I think. I forgot how to do that. Standard. Oh, right. So for the glow plugs, I'm gonna have to set up a system for that. I could probably just make a AA battery container, 2 of them, hook them up, positive lead to the glow plugs, negative lead to a screw up here somewhere. Just make it constantly active, I guess. Do I want to make it constantly active? It would help it run, but it would probably shorten the lifespan. I'll figure it out.